At the wedding, Zhou Xingwei called my name wrongly and left me to look for Bai Yueguang. My wedding was a joke. The next second, the hotel exploded and caught fire. He protected Lu Ran and escaped by stepping on the door panel that was pressing on me. He said Lu Ran is the daughter of the wealthy Lu family in Beijing, and I am not even a penny better than her. But Zhou Xingwei didn't know. Lu Ran is just the daughter of my nanny, and I am the only eldest daughter of the Lu family. Wedding scene. The MC asked Zhou Xingwei, "What do you want to say to the bride the most at this moment?" He blurted out, "I love you, Lu Ran." The audience fell silent for a moment. Then countless inquiring and mocking eyes came towards me, which made my heart ache. Because my name is Lu Qingran, and I just heard the name Lu Ran last night. He is Zhou Xingwei's white moonlight. I got married in a hotel. There were no relatives or friends around. I was all alone, blowing balloons and pasting double happiness characters. It was clearly a happy day, but for some reason it felt so deserted. I wanted to talk to Zhou Xingwei, so when I called him, I found out that he was at a bachelor party. I can hear the noise on the other end of the phone. He said, "What's up?" "I'm busy." Someone next to him shouted. I said Zhou Xingwei had a sharp eye. When we were in school, Lu Ran was so low-key. If I hadn't run into her coming out of the largest mansion in the city a few days ago, who would have thought that she was actually the eldest daughter of the Lu family? "Qing'an, can you wait for me for a while?" At this moment, Zhou Xingwei not only called my name wrong but also whispered to me. I suddenly came to my senses and realized that the words I just said were not an illusion. I couldn't believe it and said, "Zhou Xingwei, do you know what you are saying? This is our wedding. You want to leave first? Where are you going?" The MC next to us had a red face and looked at us, seeming to want to say something, but, hang up. Even if you have something very important to do today, you are not allowed to leave. The beautiful Lu Ran just returned to China and she came to support you. We brothers are so jealous. Another person was ambiguous. When you were in high school, you said you would marry no one but Lu Ran, but I didn't expect you to get married now. Tiske, I heard the bride's name is Lu Ran? You can't be Ran Leiqing, are you? Huh. The voice suddenly faded away. It should be Zhou Xingwei who left the private room. He said calmly, "It's a bit noisy here. Qing'an, can you wait for me for a while?" Stopping himself. Just now the groom called the bride's name wrong and he awkwardly smoothed it over by saying, "The bride's full name is Lu Qingran and her nickname is Lu Ran, right?" But now, Zhou Xingwei actually wants to interrupt the wedding and leave. Then they left. Be obedient, wife. This is incredible. Is this the scene of a wedding crash? Just when I was about to leave, Zhou Xingwei's mother suddenly came on stage. I asked him, since the other party had already left, why didn't he come back to continue the wedding? Lu Ran said, "Is there only one Lu Ran left in his eyes?" He has never encountered such a situation in his 30 years of work. If you don't want to get married, you don't have to. Lu Ran said that her parents are having dinner upstairs right now. I'll go say hello and give them a business card. I'll be back in a bit. You know, my company has been short of cash recently and the project has been delayed, so we need investment. Lu Ran said that his father is supporting young entrepreneurs recently. If I can catch his eye, all problems will be solved. I'm doing this for our better future, Qingran. Please understand me a little more if you're a little wronged, okay? Lu Ran, it's Lu Ran again. I don't understand and I can't understand. I held him back and whispered, "Can't we wait until the wedding is over?" The guests in the audience saw that we didn't move and started whispering. What's going on? Is this marriage going to happen or not? Why haven't the bride and groom exchanged rings yet? Look at the MC's expression, huh? Oh my God. The groom is gone? Where is he going? Can I tell you, I feel so sorry for the bride. The MC picked up the microphone several times and wanted to say something but remained silent. Finally, he said dryly, "The groom has some urgent matters to attend to. Let's wait for him for a while." I was standing alone on the stage watching Zhou Xingwei's back as she hurriedly left, and suddenly I realized that the wedding dress was so heavy that it hurt my back. After waiting for half an hour, Zhou Xingwei still didn't come back and no one answered the phone. The groom cannot come because of something else. We have cancelled this wedding. Dear friends and relatives, thank you very much for participating. You may leave now. The wedding that I carefully prepared for 3 months became a joke for others to watch after dinner. Zhou Xingwei didn't come back until the evening and said that he was too late and the other party had already left. There was a hint of complaint in his tone. He hesitantly explained, Lu Ran said that she could help me show the business plan to his father, so I took her back to the company. Beside him, Zhou Xingwei's mother suddenly said loudly, I've already said that this wedding shouldn't have happened. Now it's like this, our Zhou family has lost all face. I looked at Zhou Xingwei in silence. Whenever his mother made things difficult for me in the past, he would always be the first to speak up for me. But this time he said nothing. I couldn't help but say, if Xingwei hadn't insisted, Xingwei said it was for the development of the company. Why can't you understand his intentions? Now that he's gone, who are you crying on the stage for? People who don't know would think Xingwei did something to you. She spoke like a machine gun and I didn't have a chance to interrupt. She also asked me to get the money back from the hotel. I was stunned for a moment, then turned to ask Zhou Xingwei, is our wedding over like this? The marriage certificate was not obtained and the wedding came to an abrupt end. The rings were not exchanged. Zhou Xingwei and I seemed to be nothing. But we have been in love for 7 years. During that period I got pregnant and had an abortion. For his career I quit my job and stayed at home taking care of 3 meals a day and housework, working hard without complaint. In 7 years he never cooked a meal or washed clothes, and even his underwear was washed by me. He doesn't know that I used to be a total novice. He often said, Ran, what would I do without you? I smiled and urged him jokingly, then you should marry me home as soon as possible so that I can be tied to you forever. So I began to wait and wait. When his company developed, he was known as Mr. Zhou from Shaozhou. He still hasn't proposed to me. Sometimes I see wedding invitations from college classmates on my WeChat moments and forward them to him. He understood what I meant and said apologetically, I'm sorry Ran, the company is not stable now. It's the busiest time and I don't have the time and energy to deal with other things. But how can marrying me be anything else? I thought, since he is busy and doesn't have the energy, why don't I do it? I took the initiative to plan the proposal. He was silent for a long time and looked at me with complicated eyes. I felt uncomfortable when he looked at me, so I could only force a smile and said, Zhou Xingwei, what are you standing there for? Hurry up and say you are willing. He smiled gently and said, okay. Later, I withstood the sarcasm and difficulties of his parents and devoted myself to preparing for the wedding. Unexpectedly, in the end, all my efforts were in vain. Every time this happened, he would say, okay, when I have achieved success in my career, I will definitely marry you home in a grand ceremony. Zhou Xingwei hugged me and comforted me, it won't just end like this. Go get the money back first. Only when I have the money can I give you the wedding. What money? He actually asked me to ask for money for our wedding? Suddenly I couldn't control my shaking. Zhou Xingwei said some sweet words to me, but I finally gave in. I contacted the hotel manager, but was rejected as soon as I explained my purpose. I didn't give up and went to his house in person. When he saw me, his attitude became a little strange. He took me to an office and locked the door. After his obscene eyes swept over me, he said meaningfully, it's clearly written in the contract that meals cannot be refunded. I quickly said, it would be fine if you can return half of it. In fact, the total hotel fee was only about 100,000 yuan. In the past, my parents would have given me a gift worth more than this amount. But over the years, through repeated failures and setbacks, I have learned how to spend every penny wisely. The manager came closer and put his hand on my thigh. I tried to shake him off, but he grabbed my shoulder. He smiled evilly and said, sleep with me and I'll give you 10,000 yuan, how about that? Get away. I yelled at him as I pulled out my cell phone and pressed the emergency dial button. I have one and only one emergency contact, and that is Zhou Xingwei. The phone rang for a few seconds and was picked up. The manager was not afraid at all. Instead, he snatched it away, turned on the speaker and whispered in my ear in a sarcastic tone, I heard about you. You were abandoned by the groom on your wedding day. It spread all over our hotel. Do you think your husband will come to rescue you? I'm in no mood to pay attention to him. He said anxiously to the phone, Xingwei, I was molested in the hotel, come quickly. Zhou Xingwei paused for a moment, his tone somewhat impatient, and he said, I know you're unhappy about my meeting with Lu Ran, but you don't have to lie to me with such a lame excuse, right? I paused and shook my head subconsciously, I didn't. Xingwei, come quickly. You still have time to make a phone call after being molested? Qingran, you should stop now. As soon as he finished speaking, a female voice came from the side. Xingwei, who's calling? If you have something to do, leave first. After dinner, I can go to the movies by myself. I was on the other end of the phone, held in the grip of the hotel manager's fat pig-like body, when I heard Zhou Xingwei's light answer, nothing. Take a look at the menu. What would you like to eat? I remember you used to love this taro and yam dish. The call was hung up. My heart feels empty and a little confused. In the past, Zhou Xingwei also remembered my favorite dishes. Later, I transferred all the money in my card to the hotel manager and knelt down to beg him, and he let me go. Before leaving, he said to me with pity, if a person despises himself first, he is doomed to be despised by everyone else. Of course I understand this. But in these 7 years there has only been Zhou Xingwei in my world. Moreover, we used to be so sweet. Although we would quarrel occasionally, he would take the initiative to coax me within 3 days. The love I had in the past cannot be faked. I believe he loves me. Now. He just feels a little bit novel about Bai Yueguang, who just returned. I comforted myself and thought about going home to discuss with Zhou Xingwei whether I could sue the manager for extortion. But when I opened the door, I saw Zhou Xingwei half hugging Lu Ran gently, his eyes focused and affectionate. Xingwei, Shoo, keep your voice down. Lu Ran is drunk and feels uncomfortable. She finally fell asleep. Don't wake her up. The scene in front of me looks so familiar. Not long ago I was the one sleeping in his arms. My heart seemed to be soaked in vinegar, so sour that I felt uncomfortable. Xingwei, we need to talk. Zhou Xingwei then looked up at me. Qingran, I know you're jealous, but my project is in urgent need of investment, and the Lu family is my best choice. Lu Ran said that she has shown the plan to her father and helped me make an appointment with her father next week. We all have to thank her. Oh, by the way, let Lu Ran stay in your bedroom tonight and you go out and find a hotel to stay for the night. Be good. After saying that, he picked up Lu Ran and went towards my bedroom. We pooled our money together to buy this house. It has 2 bedrooms and a living room. It's not big, but I decorated it to make it feel cozy and homey. Because Zhou Xingwei often stays up late and has poor sleep, he is easily awakened by any noise, so except for the occasional time when we go to bed, we sleep in separate rooms. I never thought that one day I would be kicked out of my home. Lu Ran woke up in time. Xingwei, this isn't good. I live in Sister Qingran's room, so where does she live? Isn't this like a cuckoo occupying the magpie's nest? There is a hint of coquettishness in the ending tone. It's okay. You're drunk and uncomfortable and it's troublesome to go home. Lu Ran turned around with a hint of provocation in his eyes. Sister Qing'an, please move out, I'm so sorry. Somewhat funny. I am the mistress, but now I feel like a lost dog. Impossible, Zhou Xingwei, send her back, this is my home. As soon as the words came out, Lu Ran immediately pursed his lips and was about to cry. Xingwei, I'm sorry. I just drank a little more today because I heard my dad praise your well-written plan. I was happy for you, but I didn't expect to embarrass you. After saying that, he struggled to get out of bed again. Sorry, Sister Qing'an, I'll leave now. Zhou Xingwei quickly grabbed her and pushed her back onto my bed. Don't worry, just take a good rest first and don't feel guilty, I'll take care of everything. Then he pointed at me and said in a low voice, come out. The bedroom door was closed tightly. I felt like I was locked out. Lu Qingran, what do you want to do? I've said it several times, I'm doing this for the company so that you can live a better life. I felt that he was being unreasonable and my eyes turned red. Even if it was for the company, you didn't have to get so close to her. And you let her sleep in my bed. He closed his eyes and let out a long sigh. Qingran, I don't want to argue with you. I'm really tired. In the past few years, I knew that the company's development was difficult and I had no extra money or time, but you kept urging me to marry you. I could only use some of the project funds to hold the wedding. The wedding didn't take place and you didn't ask for the remaining money back. I work hard every day to support you. It's hard for me too. You should feel sorry for me too. Please don't make trouble for me every day and make me upset, okay? I suddenly remembered that in the 3rd year after graduation, in order to get a cooperation from a large enterprise, he worked for 7 consecutive days and ended up being admitted to the hospital. I was so distressed, but he held my hand and said happily, we won the bid. When you make money, you can quit your job and rest at home. I will support you and you can do whatever you want. At that time, I was on the eve of a promotion and didn't want to give up this opportunity. It was Zhou Xingwei who said, just think of it as feeling sorry for me. I have a good wife at home, so I will be more motivated to pursue my career. So I resigned with great reluctance. At that time I felt very happy even though I had to learn to do housework and take care of him every day. Are people and emotions fickle? I transferred all the money I had to the hotel manager. I had no money to stay in a hotel when I went out, so I asked Zhou Xingwei for money. He transferred me 100 yuan via WeChat. He reminded me, you should spend more frugally in the future as the company is in urgent need of money. I looked around on my phone, but couldn't find a hotel that cost less than 100 yuan. Besides, I was very hungry, so I had to go buy some food first. Sounds a bit pathetic and cowardly, I know. I can have a big quarrel with Zhou Xingwei, force him to stay away from Lu Ran, or even break up with him completely. But then what? How many 7 years can we have in our life? For Zhou Xingwei, I abandoned my parents. I quit my job for him and stayed at home to take care of him, but I didn't make any friends. So now I have no one to rely on, living on the streets and can only spend the night on a park bench. I deserve it. I felt uncomfortable all over and my head was dizzy this morning. Must be because the wind gave me a fever. When crossing the road, I was not paying attention and was hit by an electric bike. The other party cursed, "You don't have eyes when you walk." I sprained my right foot and it was excruciatingly painful. Fortunately, I still had a few $dozen in my hand, so I took a taxi home. He never mentioned the wedding again. I thought, why not just forget it? Wearing a wedding dress is what every girl dreams of when she is young. I have worn one too. Although I feel a little regretful, it doesn't matter. A wedding is just a ceremony, and a marriage certificate is what truly ties two people together. On the weekend, I waited for Zhou Xingwei until midnight. When he saw that I was still awake, he was startled and then asked with concern, "Didn't I tell you not to wait for me and go to bed first?" But fortunately he didn't. At that time, I never thought that when he said he wanted to wait until the Mid-Autumn Festival, he didn't mean to get the marriage certificate with me. Instead, he planned to propose to Lu Ran. Mid-Autumn Festival finally arrived. When I woke up in the morning, Zhou Xingwei had passed away. I thought he had something going on at the company, and the Civil Affairs Bureau was open in the afternoon anyway, so it didn't matter. But until 5 or 6 in the evening, I called him and sent him messages, but he didn't reply. I started to worry. Although he was slow to reply to messages in the past, he was always there. I couldn't help but think wildly, maybe something unexpected happened. Once I had this thought, I couldn't sit still anymore and took a taxi straight to the company. I found Zhou Xingwei's secretary and asked him, but he looked puzzled and said that Mr. Zhou Xingwei and Lu Ran have already left. There was my finished breakfast on the table. I limped to the kitchen and found that Zhou Xingwei had not left any food for me. I don't know what Zhou Xingwei is busy with recently. He goes out early and comes back late every day. It's been almost 2 weeks and I haven't had a chance to speak to him. I was wearing pajamas and hugged his waist, but I was caught off guard by the smell of his perfume. I buried my head in his arms and said in a muffled voice, "Zhou Xingwei, don't make me wait any longer, let's go get the certificate." I was very nervous and afraid that he would refuse. He thought for a moment, then bent down and kissed my face as if to promise, "Okay, Qingren, let's wait another month until the Mid-Autumn Festival." I count the days with great anticipation. Had booked a family dinner at the hotel tonight and it had already passed. Family dinner? Did he forget to inform me? Or did Zhou Xingwei deliberately not tell me in order to give me a surprise? I asked for the address and took a taxi there. The table he booked was on the 2nd floor, which was easy to find. As I approached, I heard laughter from inside. Then came Lu Ran's voice. "What about Lu Qingran?" I pushed the door open, my voice becoming shrill with anger. "Zhou Xingwei, what are you doing?" I pointed at him with trembling fingers. "Didn't you say that you would get married with me by the Mid-Autumn Festival? Didn't you say that you approached Lu Ran just to raise funds for the company? Didn't you say you loved me and would protect me?" Zhou Xingwei sneered and looked at me like I was a fool. His words were like a knife, and every one of them pierced a horrible bloody hole in my heart. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed for her. They're such a good-looking couple. Where does she get the confidence from? I thought they had broken up since the wedding was cancelled. This woman is such a bitch. Lu Ran stood behind him, looking at me indifferently. Zhou Xingwei's mother looked unhappy when she heard the discussion. She couldn't help but stand up, grabbed my arm and pushed me. Zhou Xingwei's mother's voice was very loud and she kept saying, Ran is very good, you have to cherish her." I was stunned and a little happy. She had always disliked me, but I didn't expect that she would privately ask Zhou Xingwei to cherish me. Just as I was about to go in, I heard Zhou Xingwei's voice. Lu Ran, marry me. I meant what I said before, I will marry you. I love you. Don't worry, Ran Ran. We haven't obtained a marriage certificate and the wedding hasn't been held yet. There is no legal relationship. I was worried that if I broke up with her directly she would be entangled, so I kept coaxing her. Getting married is her obsession. Once you agree to my proposal she will give up completely. Ran Ran, I still love you. I don't want to wait even a second. I just want to marry you. After a moment of silence, Lu Ran said shyly, I promise you. My brain suddenly went blank. Seeing me, everyone's faces changed. Zhou Xing scowled. Why are you here? But since you are here I will make it clear to you. I want to break up with you. Please don't bother me anymore. Don't be naive, Lu Qingran. What can you compare with Lu Ran? She is young and beautiful, she comes from a prominent family, she is versatile and capable, and what about you? Besides doing housework, what else can you do? You are not even a bit better than Lu Ran. Everyone at the table looked at me curiously, and some even took out their cell phones to take pictures. Is this Xing Wei's ex-girlfriend who was lazy and never worked? She is definitely much worse than Lu Ran. Out, go go go. Hurry up and go. It's my son's big day and you have to come and spoil the fun. It's really bad luck. Lu Ran pretended to stop him. Auntie, don't be angry. I understand Sister Qingran. She has been with Xingwei for so many years. Even if she has no credit, she has worked hard. Don't take it personally. After all, we will be a family from now on. Yes, Ran Ran is very reasonable. Xingwei, Ran Ran has already agreed to your proposal, so you should quickly deal with this woman. Zhou Xingwei's way of dealing with me was to call the manager and forcibly drag me outside. I struggled and screamed, tears streaming down my face. Zhou Xingwei, how can you propose to someone else? Zhou Xingwei, how could you not want me? Lu Qingran, if you don't cooperate, I will call the police. I cried and said, Zhou Xingwei, 7 years of time and 7 years of love. How can you just throw it away like that? At this time, Lu Ran suddenly interrupted. Lu Qing'an, do you know why Xingwei was with you in the first place? She crossed her arms, looking haughty and disdainful. Because in my first year abroad, Xingwei called me and confessed his love for me. I rejected him and said, since you like me, we can't be friends anymore. In order to remain friends with me, he took the initiative to pursue you, whose name is similar to mine, to prove that he doesn't like me anymore. She turned to look at Zhou Xingwei and asked, So, Xingwei, who did you love during the years I was abroad? Of course it's you, Ran Ran. I have never forgotten you. You are the one I have always loved. I rushed over and grabbed Zhou Xingwei by the collar and asked with tears in my eyes, Then what am I? What are these 7 years worth? Why do you wait for me to finish class every day and accompany me to feed stray cats even though you are allergic to cat hair? The early days of starting a business were tough, but you used your first pot of money to buy me a car. Why? When we were living together, you went downstairs and ran to 3 stores to buy cake for me just because I said I wanted to eat it. Why was that? Are these all fake? Zhou Xing frowned slightly. It was too noisy here and some people from next door had already come out to watch the fun. Lu Qingran, don't be so self-indulgent. I can tell you directly that I did like you. But I love her more. Next second. Boom bang. An explosion suddenly sounded. Then thick smoke and sparks spread up from the stairs. There's an explosion and fire. Run. Ran Ran, give me your hand, I'll hold you. I was at the door, closer to the source of the explosion, and a door panel more than 1 meter long knocked me to the ground. When Zhou Xingwei passed by, I grabbed the corner of his trousers. Xingwei, don't leave me, she said to Zhou Xingwei. I lay there in despair, feeling my life slipping away, the smoke making it difficult for me to breathe. Broke up with family and was betrayed by lover. If you don't know the person well, you will tolerate him again and again. I deserve it. I wanted to say something, but as soon as I opened my mouth I started crying. They were busy escaping and no one cared about me lying on the ground with my legs unable to move. Lu ran next to him, glanced at me and stepped on the door panel that was pressing on my leg. My leg cracked and it hurt so much that I stopped breathing for a few seconds. Xingwei, we have to move quickly. The smoke is getting thicker. No one will die here. Firefighters will come to rescue us soon. Zhou Xingwei didn't even look at me. He took a step forward, broke free from my fingers and strode away with Lu Ran in his arms. It's already this late and you still have time to care about others. Even if she died, it was her fate. It has nothing to do with us. For a moment I felt that Zhou Xingwei really wanted me to die. When I woke up I thought I would see the underworld. What happened is that I saw my parents whom I hadn't seen for 7 years. They already have white hair and have aged a lot, and their faces look so strange, yet so familiar. When my father saw me wake up, he quickly wiped away his tears. His expression was no longer as strong as I remembered. Instead, he looked like an ordinary old man repeating over and over again, "Just wake up, just wake up." My mother's eyes were red and swollen. She held my hand tightly and her tears kept coming out, soaking the sheets. "Ran, you scared me to death. I regret it. I really regret it. At the beginning. Mom and Dad shouldn't have pushed you so hard. I'm sorry, Ran. I missed you so much over the years. I called you but you changed your phone number. I went to your original address but you moved." She cried and said, "I can't find you, Ran. For 7 years, Zhou Xingwei and I were very close and I was open and sincere to him, but he was not sincere to me from the beginning. And what about my parents? During these long 7 years, how did they endure the long nights, the longing for me without any resentment or hatred, and finally choose to forgive my willfulness and selfishness?" After a brief chat with them, I learned that after I was rescued by the firefighters, the hospital contacted Zhou Xingwei to pay the medical expenses, but the other party said that I had no relationship with him anymore and I should not look for him. The hospital couldn't do anything, and since I was a casualty of the hotel explosion, they could only treat me first. It wasn't until my second day in the ICU that my dad saw the explosion rescue video on the news and recognized me from the fleeting shot. I'm sorry. I burst into tears. After dying once, I realized how stupid my previous thoughts were. I had a serious leg fracture and spent a month in the hospital. I planned to go home and recuperate. On the day I was discharged from the hospital, my father came to pick me up, but ran into Zhou Xingwei, who was with Lu Ran. How could Zhou Xingwei let go of this opportunity? When he saw my dad, his eyes lit up and he didn't notice me next to him at all. "Mr. Lu, what a coincidence. I didn't expect to meet you here. Originally, Ran and I had proposed to each other, and I should have visited you a long time ago, but Ran always said that you were busy, so I didn't dare to bother you." Lu Ran on the side had a stiff expression. My father didn't look kind to him. "How dare you show up in front of me? How did you treat Ran? My Lu family will make you pay the price." Zhou Xing paused for a moment and quickly pulled Lu Ran out from behind him. Ran, quickly explain to your parents. Do you have any misunderstandings about me?" Lu Ran's face turned pale and he stammered, unable to speak. My dad looked at her for a long while and finally seemed to recall a name from his memory. Lu Ran? Lu Ran nodded randomly, then nervously pulled Zhou Xingwei. "My stomach hurts, let's go quickly." "Don't worry, Mr. Lu. If you have nothing to do later, how about Ran and I treat you to a simple meal?" He was the head of the wealthy Lu family in Beijing, and there was no chance to meet him normally. Lu Ran had previously asked him to ask her father out for dinner, but the other party had something urgent to do and was unable to make it. This time it happened to be a coincidence, and he had to leave a good impression on his future father-in-law. Before my dad could answer, he saw me standing by and quickly scolded me. "Lu Qing'an, why are you here? I'm warning you, Ran's father, Mr. Lu, is right here. Don't even think about pestering me." "What the hell is he talking about?" I poked my dad's arm. "Dad, do you know Lu Ran?" "I have seen her. Your mother was in poor health a few years ago, so she hired a new nanny. Lu Ran is her daughter. It is said that she just returned to China not long ago. She came to our house to help her mother with chores a few times." The air was silent for a moment. Zhou Xingwei was struck by lightning. He turned around and grabbed Lu Ran's shoulders, asking, "What do you mean? Lu Ran, didn't you say your father is Lu Xingye, the eldest daughter of the Lu family?" My father has been in the business world for many years, so he knew everything. He looked at Lu Ran seriously and said bluntly, "I, Lu Xingye, only have one daughter in my life, and that's Lu Qingran. How can any other person be worthy of being the eldest daughter of the Lu family? Lu Ran, go back and tell your mother that she has been fired, and no company under the Lu group will ever hire her again." Lu Ran's legs went limp and he knelt down in front of my dad, begging in tears. "Mr. Lu, I was bewildered and confused for a moment. I was wrong. Please forgive me and don't fire my mom. The Lu family paid her mother a high salary, otherwise how could she afford to act like a rich lady? If her mother was fired, who would she ask for money? What she had found out was that his daughter was living abroad all year round. My father showed no expression and said calmly, "You used Qing Ran's identity to damage the reputation of the Lu family. Lu Ran, you can wait to receive the court summons." She fell to the ground. Zhou Xingwei staggered back and turned his gaze to me in disbelief. How is it possible? How could Lu Qingran be the eldest daughter of the Lu family? He stared at me with hatred on his face. Why did you hide it from me and not tell me? I was calm and just thought they were noisy. I told Zhou Xingwei excitedly, but he took me to the hospital to have an abortion. I don't want to. A few days ago she went to the Lu residence to help her mother with work. When she was leaving, she happened to be seen by her high school classmates, who mistakenly thought she was the eldest daughter of the Lu family who had been living abroad all year round. Later, when she saw the poor boy who pursued her in high school had transformed himself into the president of a company, she became interested and took advantage of the opportunity to use her identity to hook up with Zhou Xingwei. She originally thought that since the matter was already settled and she and Zhou Xingwei had obtained their marriage certificate, even if her identity was exposed and he wanted a divorce, he would have to give her half of his property, so she would not lose out anyway. But things are so unpredictable, she never thought that Lu Qingran would actually be Lu Xingye's daughter. When Zhou Xingwei and I got together, I accompanied him to start a business. My parents were very opposed to it, thinking that he had no ability and was just a show-off. I never brought Zhou Xingwei to meet my parents, for fear that they would say something that would hurt his self-esteem. Later I got pregnant unexpectedly. My parents were furious and scolded me severely, but after that they felt sorry for me and relented, allowing me to take Zhou Xingwei home to discuss the marriage. He said he was too young and not ready to be a father. He said he would have children after he had achieved success in his career. After the abortion I didn't dare go home, but it was exposed a few days later. My parents thought Zhou Xingwei was not a good man and asked me to break up with him immediately. My father hit me in a rage, pointed at the door and said, "Once you walk out of this door, you will no longer be my Lu Xingye's daughter." Just then Zhou Xingwei called to urge me to go back. I kowtowed to my parents with tears in my eyes, and it has been 7 years since I left. Things are different now. Zhou Xingwei, I didn't mean to hide it from you. If you hadn't forced me to have an abortion, you would have become the son-in-law of the Lu family. After I recovered, I went to work at Lu Group. My father asked me to study with him. The third day of the exhibition. Who knew that as soon as I left the hotel I would run into Zhou Xingwei? He looked haggard, his suit was wrinkled, and when he saw me he cursed me fiercely. "Lu Qing, you bitch. Did you ask the Lu Group to maliciously acquire my company?" I took a step away, not wanting to have any contact with him. "Go away." Someone in the hotel noticed us. Zhou Xingwei looked around, opened the photo album on his phone and said gloomily, "Ms. Lu, it's not too late to let me go after you look at these photos." I paused and saw that the pictures were all mine. No clothes on. My father always wanted me to inherit the group, but as soon as I graduated from university, I accompanied Zhou Xingwei to start a business and later broke up with them. He had no choice but to pick the best student he had sponsored to train. 7 years later, the other party has become the secretary of the president of Lu Group. The president's secretary is Lin Yunfeng, who is 1 or 2 years younger than me, wears gold-rimmed glasses and is very gentle. He is efficient and concise in his work. After following him for a week, I got a general understanding of the group's business. During National Day, I attended an industry-leading exhibition with him. He gave a speech on stage as a representative of the Lu Group. After returning, he said to me, "Ms. Lu, you need to get familiar with this kind of occasion as soon as possible. From now on," he paused with the corner of his mouth slightly raised, "you will be the one on stage. So after we return to the hotel tonight, please finish reading these reports, Ms. Lu. I will ask you questions tomorrow morning." I held the report that was dozens of pages thick, and lamented in my heart that Secretary Lin looked handsome and abstinent, but in fact he was a sinister and ruthless strict teacher. But thinking about how he was speaking confidently and calmly on the stage just now, I gritted my teeth and thought, it's just reading a report. Sooner or later, I will also walk onto the stage that belongs to me with a calm smile and shine brilliantly. I read the report until late at night. The next morning, with dark circles under my eyes, I threatened him, "Secretary Lin, you better be careful. I will replace you, sideline you and exile you. He simply adjusted his glasses, his tone unchanged. I'm looking forward to it. I finally got myself free from those complicated and difficult-to-read reports, and was just about to sneak out for a walk in some fresh air while Secretary Lin was away. He deliberately slid slowly and threatened me. Lu Qing, and I give you two choices. Either marry me and let me be the real son-in-law of the Lu family, or I will send you to the news and let everyone in the world see what the eldest lady of the Lu family is like under me. I raised my hand and slapped him hard. In the past, I might have been sad and scared and maybe even compromised for the sake of my reputation, but after experiencing life and death, I already understood one thing. If you don't want to be bullied, betrayed, or have others step on your face and insult you unscrupulously, you have to become strong. I shook my hands in disgust and called him, Zhou Xingwei, your life can be described in 4 words. Disgusting. Every time I said something, Zhou Xingwei's face turned greener and he roared, that's enough. Lu Qingren, don't think I don't dare to send the photos out. His eyes turned red at the word bankruptcy. Secretary Lin came over at some point. He asked the manager to clear out the onlookers. He looked at his watch and said to Zhou Xingwei expressionlessly, Mr. Zhou, you have 3 minutes to apologize to Ms. Lu before the police arrive. Later I asked Secretary Lin what the hostile takeover that Zhou Xingwei mentioned was about. He said that it was the chairman who instructed him to make Zhou Xingwei pay the price, so he orchestrated this forced acquisition. Finally, he added, Mr. Lu will probably give me a large year-end bonus. I couldn't help but laugh. Everything that happened yesterday is like yesterday's death. Everything that happens today is like life today. Whether Zhou Xingwei is dead or alive has nothing to do with me. At the end of the year, I saw the financial news and found out that Zhou Xingwei's company had you are so powerful that even if they want to skin you alive and eat your flesh, they still have no choice but to bow down to you and act stupid and smile. Zhou Xingwei, you lied to me that you were going to get married and treated me as a free nanny and long-term spare tire, while pursuing the so-called rich lady. You are so despicable and shameless. You watched me die in the fire without saving me, disregarding our 7 years of friendship and putting me to death. You are a ruthless person and a traitor. After you found out that I was a member of the Lu family, you tried to marry me to gain benefits and even threatened me with the private photos you secretly took. You are so vile, vicious, and extremely vicious. I raised the corner of my mouth slightly, then go ahead and give it a try. If you post it today, you will be able to write a bankruptcy application tomorrow. I promise. The company is his hard work. Over the years, the only thing he cares about is probably his company of about 100 employees. The next day, Secretary Lin told me with some regret that Zhou Xingwei was only detained for 15 days. But he actually dared to threaten Miss Lu. He habitually raised his glasses and said in a cold tone, then let him go bankrupt. Filed for bankruptcy due to serious financial fraud. One time when I was going home, a dark shadow pounced on me and I was startled. After a closer look, I saw that the other person was Zhou Xingwei. He was not wearing a suit anymore, but an old sportswear that didn't quite fit him. He was holding a small square box and pushing it into my hand. Ran, this is the ring you designed. I asked someone to make it for you. I'll put it on you. Please, I was wrong. Come back and let's get married. His face was pale, but his eyes were red and he looked absent-minded and a little sick. I asked the bodyguard to pull him away. The ring rolled to the ground and I stepped on it without even looking at it. By the time I completed a major project independently, it was already February of the following year. My dad held an internal celebration party for me. Secretary Lin was invited over. He was still wearing a suit, looking abstinent and cold. He clinked the champagne with mine with a faint smile in his eyes. I love the taste of champagne. It represents victory.